And we're back. Just like Taj fumbling and responding, can't hold us back. So maybe somebody was trying to tell me you should just end it. And there was a long chat. I was off on a tangent. I missed what everybody said, but I'm gonna go 10 more minutes and rest in peace. Yeah, I'm back. No, back from the dead, bro. Adrian. Uh, if somebody wants to throw some questions out there, I'll respond to it in the next 10 minutes. But that's all I'm going to do. I feel like somebody's trying to tell me something. So is Josh Kelly okay? Seemed like he was hurt a bit. Yeah, it seemed like he got dinged up a bit. He seemed kind of hurt, like going like the whole game. Um, but I think he's okay. I don't know. He was out there at the end, so I believe he's okay. I think he's a gamer. So I want to throw some stats out there while I'm waiting for people to get back on. And I'm sorry for the internet disconnection, but so Barron finished 17 for 29 for 214 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Taj had 21 carries for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had the 2 fumbles. Man, Caleb Douglas, 5 catches for 116 yards. Josh Kelly did have 5 catches as well, but just for 27 yards. Wasn't a whole lot from Coy Aiken, just 2 catches for 12 yards. Micah, we had a Micah sighting. He had that one big catch for 38 yards, down to like the 1 or 2. So that was nice. It was, I think it was at the 30-minute mark. Really excited. I think maybe somebody hacked into it and cut it off. But I'm gonna go, like I said, like 7 more minutes. Raylick also said QB pressure was awesome to see. It was. Again, that's don't get me going on a tangent again, but bottom line is Tim DeRuyter did a great job calling the game. Sometimes he dropped 8 and just rushed 3 and dropped back in coverage, and that seemed to give Fafita some problems. But also, obviously, he blitzed the linebackers. He blitzed some guys, and they got home or at least affected Fafita. Brett Bronson said, luck coming back with Horn seemed huge for the defense. Felt like it helped the pressure on the quarterback because they trusted the corners more. I think they trusted the corners more and just they simply covered longer than what we're used to seeing, which matters. I mean, it's people talk about complementary football between like offense and the defense or special teams in this, but there could be complementary defense between or complementary football between different aspects of the same side of the football in terms of defense. Like the secondary covering a little bit better helped the defensive line and the defensive front, get home and at least affect the quarterback and vice versa. So yeah, it matters. Anthony Martinez says linebackers were awesome. They were freaking amazing. That's 2 weeks in a row, and kind of a slow start where it almost seemed like Ben Roberts and Jacob Rodriguez were picked on in terms of like covering backs. Like ACU ran a million wheel routes and they struggled with it, but 2 weeks in a row where I would argue that Ben Roberts was the best player on the field last week in the Tech Cincinnati game. You could say Taj Brooks, and I'm not going to put up too much of a fight, but Ben Roberts was right there. Tonight or last night, however you want to look at it, Jacob Rodriguez was the best football player on the field. He just was. He was the best player on the field. He was amazing. Zachary Cole says, seemed like the defensive line did a much better job of staying disciplined with their gap control. I don't know if I agree with that because Arizona gashed Tech at times in the running game. Now, Tech got some nice short yard stops, but Tech's actually been pretty good against the run. The notable exception is Washington State with Mateer. Washington State's quarterback run for almost 200 yards. I mean, that's a big exception. But other than that, Tech, like against Arizona State, what was their strength? Running the ball. And Skataboo struggled, at least as a runner. I mean, I think Arizona State averaged like 3 yards per carry, and they came in averaging like 5 yards per carry. So last week, Tech shut down Cincinnati's running game, whether they were injured or not. They did. They shut them down. And then tonight, it was hit or miss, with the running game. Like there were some times where you could tell Tech was gassed, and Arizona hurt him in the running game, like specifically straight up the gut. But then again, Tech had some big short yardage stops, so uh, were they more gap sound? I don't want to sound like one of the coaches, but I have to go look at it again. But first glance, I would say about the same. Ha ha ha. Erasmo Gutierrez says, "What did you think of the cheerleader getting bulldozed on the sideline just to get up and get totally hyped? That completely changed the complexity of the game. I mean, it kind of did, right? I think it's a coincidence, but I was like, I'm in the game thread on Inside the Red Raiders, typing and chatting with Tech fans and customers, and I was starting to like talk him up, and then he went way too far. Like when you go too far, and luckily they cut away from him. But yeah, he's pretty tough. He was, the Arizona player who was, in full pads was hurt, and he was fine. So, typical Tech. Was Isaac Smith out tonight? Don't remember seeing him out there. I do believe he was out with a head injury, which is a concussion. Anthony Martinez says away win was cool too, and underdogs. Yeah, and a good way to wrap this up, Anthony, is you point out. Like, I picked Arizona to win just because I don't trust. I should say I did not prior to tonight trust Texas Tech in terms of winning on the road. But at this point, having won 4 in a row, being 5-1 overall, 3-0 in the Big 12. I mean, you got to tip the cap. You got to recognize what it is. This team is resilient. They're winners. And halfway through the season, man, I'm really excited. And they still have three of their final 6 games are at home, and Tech's been great at home. So it's set up for Texas Tech to have a special season. Will it happen? We'll see. But, as of tonight, man, that was great. All right, final question that I'm going to answer is that Richard Gray said, "What was your favorite part of the game?" I think, man, oh, that's a good question. I was pretty hyped at halftime. I was having a lot of fun at halftime on the Inside the Red Raiders board. But I think Taj scoring that touchdown, it was apropos. Just again, in the other thread, people were asking me about his character and stuff like that. And I mean, that's Taj Brooks for you. So that was pretty cool. Him scoring, knowing it went to a 2. I mean, can a team blow it? Can a team come back from that? All that. But Tech pushing it to a 9-point game. It was effectively over for me at that point. And the way they did it was great. And just for like McGuire, for the players, for all y'all, for the fans, that was a really cool feeling. We have been through a lot of stuff, and that was fun. So enjoy it. I hope you all have a good Sunday as well. Sorry for your daughter about OK State getting drilled. I don't have a daughter, so I mean, I don't care about Oklahoma State either. Barry said, thanks all y'all. Hey, big win. It was awesome. Four game win streak. Come on, man. All y'all want, put it this way. This is my final thing I'm going to say, and I'm just now approaching 10 minutes. Anybody hating, throwing negative shit out there about Texas Tech right now is just a hater. They are not a true Tech fan. 5-1, 3-0 in the Big 12, 4 wins in a row. I'm not saying there isn't stuff to criticize. I'm just saying anybody throwing negative stuff out there, they're not a real Tech fan. So with that, thank you all for being on the channel twice this morning. And man, let's see what happens the rest of the seasons. It should be fun.